9 ways for you to reduce the paper clutter in your home. So the first thing is mailing lists. So I am getting an exorbitant amount of mail from other people, 1, 2, just ads and magazines and things that I didn't even subscribe for. And most of the time I bring it in the house and it sits there in my junk drawer. So I was thinking of ways to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. So I went on directmail.com and dmachoice.com and I paid $5 to have my name and my family's name removed from the mailing list. So hopefully we will not be getting any more things in the mail that I have to then later purge, or they cause more clutter to build up. I don't want that anymore. I want the mail products and the paper clutter to be gone for good. Next is scanning apps. So I downloaded a scanning app where I am going to be scanning all receipts that are important that I need to keep and putting them into a file digitally on my phone and my PC. So on my phone, I'm keeping any homeschool documentation, and then on my PC, I'm keeping things for our business. Next is books. So books can be paper clutter. Paperback books, hardback copies of books, magazines, things like that. So we don't have any magazine subscriptions in our home, but we do have books. So this is our book hutch over here that I use during the day for our homeschool lessons. We have lots of books in here, in the top and the bottom cabinets. I do keep books and love books. I'm very bookish. I am a book nerd. I love the Charlotte Mason style of homeschooling. So when I see a book that's like nature-based, I scream and I want it and I have to own it. But I have gotten so much better. I am only keeping beauty subject books, and what I mean by that is poetry, Shakespeare, books that are just beautiful to look at, or classic books that I have read to my kids seasonally every year since they've been little, or books that we tend to use a lot during the day, like poetry books and things like that. All the rest of the books, like single-use books, single-use picture books, single-use chapter or novel books that are assigned from a co-op or something, and I know that my kids won't be reading them again, those books I decided to purge. So those will be in the purge pile, ready to go to the thrift store. The behavior though here that needs to be learned is to no longer go buy more books and bring them into the home unless they are a book that you feel is something that you want around. And for my family, I really want to keep books that are just beautiful to have in the home, and we can pick them up at any time. They're classics, they'll last a lifetime. Next is OneDrive portfolio. So I have 2 huge Tupperware bins in my closet that I want to get rid of and totally purge. I do not want them in there anymore. They are filled with children's art and children's homeschool portfolios from the last 6 years. So they're stuffed to the brim. My thought is that some of that stuff in there is very sentimental. I was going through it today, and I decided that I'm just going to keep 3 pieces of artwork that I find absolutely beautiful, heartwarming from years past, and go ahead and frame them up and put them up on the wall here in my dining area. That way when we're eating dinner, or we're talking, or we're doing homeschool at the table, we can look at them. They're serving no purpose being in plastic bins in my closet, and we can't see them in there. They're under a bunch of other papers. So I really wanted to put that to use and have them framed. And my husband's really good at carpentry, and he can make us some beautiful wooden frames for them to hang up on the walls. And they'll last a lifetime. I can, pass that down to them whenever they decide to move out or if they want to keep them. Next is those boxes that I was talking about, the clear boxes for homeschool items. I'm actually going to take those boxes and reuse them. And I'm going to put each kid's baby book in there. And in that, I'm just going to to, label it keepsake box for, this child, and this child. And then as the years go on, I can keep adding to it. So I have a 1-year-old baby. He has a few paper, products or clutter that I would need to add to his baby book, like a first birthday card and things like that I like to keep. His birthday crown can go in there from his first birthday. His first birthday candle can go in there. And then the other kids who are older, they have some papers and such that went with their first birthday as well. So that will be all nicely organized. And like I said, when they get older and they're ready to move away or leave home, I can be like, here's your keepsake box. It's nicely organized. It has everything you need in it, and it's not cluttered, So I hope to have that done by the new year. That's my goal. Next is cards, Christmas cards, etc., birthday cards. So I'm not big on keeping those, but I do have some Christmas cards that we got this year for Christmas so far, and instead of throwing them away, I thought a cute thing to do is just take off the back and use the front as the illustration as a gift tag, and you can punch a little hole at the top and put some cute ribbon in it and reuse those instead of throwing them away. But this is something that I typically do not keep, and I don't have a lot of cards sitting around. But I just wanted to mention that because it's that time of year when everybody else is getting cards, so I thought I would throw that in there as a way for you to reuse it instead of letting it pile up. And lastly is printers. So I do have a printer. I've decided to do away with the printer. I was paying for an HP instant ink printer service and a paper service, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna save my $20 a month. I just don't think that's practical. When I do print something, I end up throwing it away, or I'll print it and then I realize it's turning into paper clutter. So being mindful about who you are and what you're going to do with the things that you bring into the home is really what you need to think about when it comes to minimalism. For me, I know I'm going to go print that item. I'm going to probably use it a few times, and then I'm going to probably throw it away. So for me, that's just throwing away $20 a month. It's not practical for me. And if I do need to print something, I will just go down to the library. It's a mile from my house, and I will pay the 10 cents to have it printed. So for me, just getting rid of the printer services, the printer itself, and the paper is something that I have decided to do as we move forward in the new year, and just being more mindful about paper products in general. I just cleared out so much paper today that I had sitting around, so I feel really good about moving forward, hopefully moving in the right direction and not bringing those things back in and having to do this all over again. And that's the key to minimalism, is just watching your behavior and asking yourself, do I need to bring this in? Because guess what, when you bring it in, it becomes a job that you have to manage. And if it's not worth the job to manage it, then it's not worth bringing it in. Everything that you have is a responsibility. I would rather pour my time into something else other than the paper in my home. So that's why I'm sharing this video today, and I hope you guys have a great week. So here are our homeschool bins that I have kept for records for the last 6 years of homeschooling. I have pictures in here, I have baby journals and things that I'm going to make space in these, and I'm turning these homeschool portfolio boxes into more of like a child keepsake box. So a lot of this stuff is going to be organized into here, and I'm actually going to go through all of these boxes like I said in the video, and I'm going to go through every year and only keep the beautiful things that I know my kids will like to look back on and enjoy. There are some things in here like handwriting books and math books that I have to keep for record keeping. So I decided to just take some snapshots of them with my camera and then go ahead and file those in a OneDrive called Homeschooling. So that way I have a digital record, but yet I'm not taking up this whole bin filled with paper clutter that really nobody will want to look back probably and look through old math books. They probably really won't want to look through, you know, old cursive books or things, but I will have a picture of it as a memory, or even, you know, for a record. So that's how I'm going to do that. And once all that's gone, like I said, these items will come down into here, and this will all be so organized and nice. And this has actually been stored in my closet where I keep my clothes. So I found another spot near our homeschool area where we'll have everything in one spot so that nothing gets lost. And if I do want to file something quickly, it's right there for me to put in, so it's not sitting on our dining room table.